The Roodepoort Theatre is presenting Mozart's famous masterpiece, Le Nozze di Figaro, but it's got a modern twist.
Well, the masterpiece offers something for everyone, from farce to adultery, role-playing, humor, cunning and conspiracy. Theodor Mashele reports that it also addresses issues of mental health as well as abuse.
This season, Mozart's Le Nozze di Figaro, which means the marriage of Figaro, is the ideal opera to begin the season.
It's one of the operas that get the most airtime around the world, get the most performed opera, certainly one of the 5 most performed operas ever. And the strength of the opera, I think, lies in the fact that the music is really, really exquisite, and it's a lot of well-known music for, I think, even someone who doesn't listen to a lot of opera, they would recognize some of the arias and duets from the opera.
A delightful blend of music, comic elements, and quite an interesting narrative is sure to keep patrons glued to their seats.
The Count, who Figaro works for, and who Susanna works for, has his eye on Susanna, Figaro's betrothed. And that is where we start getting the, how could I put this, the cunning of the different characters coming through. Because Figaro figures out that, okay, the Count has his eye on his betrothed, and he comes up with a plan, along with Susanna and along with the Countess, to sort of get back at the Count and to trick him. So, and the opera is what we call a comic opera. So it is very different from something like a serious opera, whereas with Le Nozze di Figaro, which is opera buffa, comic opera, you don't have anyone dying, as you would with opera seria, as with many other works of opera.
In addition to being an opera buffa or comic opera, the artists have added their own touches to make it even more entertaining.
We also have a rat that features in the show. Her name is Beauty, and she is a white rat that runs across the stage and gives everyone a fright every now and again. The other theme that's really quite quirky is that the Countess has a thing for wigs. Well, that's what I've decided. And we call the wigs story wigs because they're so elaborate and so kind of fantastical. So if you look very closely, her main wig has a lot of birds in it. It's very beautiful, and a little bird cage. And I play with the theme of being caged and of the Countess being an exotic bird in a cage.
As this is a period piece depicting the 1800s, costume design played a major role in creating the proper atmosphere.
The costume designs were actually designed by former designers, and we just refurbished the look with some tweaks, different trims, adding different sparkle buttons, doing the wigs in a Rococo style, makeup 1800 style, more fresh, hip. Yes, and it was lots of fun putting all of that together, but remembering to keep the concept what it was before and adding the little bit, the neo vision. It's just amazing what it turned out to be.
All elements have now come together, so it's up to the performers to give that final punch.
I'm very excited. I'm feeling really ready. We've rehearsed this so many times. We've already had our Cape Town run already. So yeah, we're just excited to share with Johannesburg and Gauteng.
I feel really good, actually. For me, I just try and go about my day and drink some tea and make sure my voice is good. And then the moment I go on stage, I turn into the biggest bastard of all bastards, if I may say so.
I'm excited, a little bit nervous, but I turn that into excitement so that it builds me up.
Dressed to their finest, these theatre lovers have been promised that they're in for a treat. This is a classical opera with a modern twist. Let's mask up and see what's in store.
The show is absolutely brilliant. I love the choreography, I love the staging, I love the singers.
People have been waiting to come back to the theatres and grace our stages and the audience. You know, they've been asking, it's high time now. We're going back full force.
Very professional show, really enjoying that. And I'm also glad to see that their plan is to bring it to the people. And the diverse casting is so great as well, telling just the story just as it is.
It sounds amazing. It's so relaxing, and yeah, you can just connect to the story.
Theodor Mashele, Roodepoort,